Most people run from failure, treating it like a curse. But the moment you fall flat, life isn't over. It's simply instructing you. Failure strips away illusions, leaving behind only truth, your weak spots, your flaws, your blind assumptions. And that's your starting point. Every loss reveals a new lesson. Every mistake is a brutal teacher molding you. But you must shift your perception. Failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're learning what greatness requires. Reframe failure as data. Track it, study it, make it your blueprint. The fuel isn't the fall, it's your reaction to it. You either use it or you waste it. Pain is uncomfortable, but it's also unbelievably instructive. The problem is we numb it, scroll, binge, escape, when we should be dissecting it. What did that rejection teach you? That missed opportunity? Was it really a failure or protection in disguise? Failure often redirects us, showing what doesn't work. The pain is a magnifier, zooming into what needs your attention. Stop running. Sit with your discomfort. Write about it. Face it like a soldier in battle, not to destroy it, but to understand it. Because what you understand, you can master. That pain is not punishment. It's preparation. When you use it wisely, it transforms into intuition, clarity, and razor-sharp mental resilience. You become unshakable. Failure feels random, but it rarely is. If you zoom out and examine your past breakdowns, you'll see a pattern: missed deadlines, poor boundaries, ignoring your instincts. These aren't coincidences, they're clues. You have to move from reaction to reflection. Don't just feel the blow, track what caused it. Were you overconfident, underprepared, relying too much on others? When you become a student of your own collapse, you begin to spot the repeating traps. And guess what? That awareness is empowerment. Now, instead of being blindsided, you anticipate. You prepare. You act deliberately. You don't fear failure. You build immunity to it by decoding it. The ruins of failure aren't useless. They're raw material. Just because something fell apart doesn't mean you throw it all away. Maybe the vision was right, but the method was wrong. Rebuild with precision. When you fail, take time to gather every splintered piece and re-engineer your approach. Strong people aren't immune to failure. They're experts at reconstruction. Use what didn't work as a lesson in design. Use your bruises to reinforce your next blueprint. This mindset changes everything. You're not a victim of failure. You're a craftsman of comeback. What was once rubble becomes the foundation of mastery. Most people see failure as a verdict. It says something about who they are. But winners treat failure like an experiment. If it didn't work, it's just feedback. You're not a failure. Your strategy was flawed. Big difference. Start analyzing outcomes like a scientist. Did I test the right hypothesis? Did I repeat the same variables expecting different results? Get curious, not critical. This objectivity reduces shame and multiplies wisdom. It separates your identity from your performance. That clarity lets you adapt fast and move forward with greater control, not self-blame. Regret has power, if you use it. Most let it rot their self-worth. But real growth begins when you reassign your emotions. Regret isn't weakness, it's raw fuel. Let it ignite urgency, let it burn away laziness. Let it compel you to chase excellence with a vengeance. Every time you remember what you could have done better, don't crumble. Rise, that fire in your chest. It's energy. Use it. Transfer it into effort. Pain becomes power when you channel it. Emotion becomes motion when you take control of it. Be your own alchemist. Refine failure into gold. When you fail, don't just get up, get organized. Setbacks expose where you lacked structure. Maybe your plan was too vague, or you relied too much on motivation over discipline. This is your signal to build systems. Create daily rituals. Break big goals into micro-tasks. Design a recovery framework so failure doesn't repeat. Systems are your shield. They reduce the chances of repeating mistakes by making success automatic. It's not about pushing harder. It's about planning smarter. When you systemize your effort, failure becomes your architect, not your destroyer. Failure often arises in moments of chaos, uncertainty, risk, rapid change. So instead of resisting the unknown, Start training within it. Push yourself into discomfort on purpose. Speak when you're afraid to. Try something you're bad at. Test your courage in small doses daily. This builds a tolerance to unpredictability. The more you expose yourself to challenge, the more failure stops scaring you and starts shaping you. The goal isn't to eliminate uncertainty, it's to become so strong that you perform powerfully even inside it. Your environment amplifies or erodes your growth. You need people around you who've failed and risen, not people who fear trying. Winners are not those who never fail. They're the ones who build after every collapse. Learn from them. Study their journeys. Borrow their resilience. Let their stories refuel your faith. The right circle doesn't mock your failure. They mentor your comeback. Upgrade your circle, and you upgrade your mindset. Remember, iron sharpens iron, so stop hanging around plastic. Your failure isn't just about you. It's someone else's survival guide. The day will come when your story will light the way for another soul in darkness. But that can only happen if you rise. So rise. Not just to succeed, but to inspire. Let your fuel burn long enough to become wisdom. Let your pain become purpose. Your scars are someone else's hope. When you embrace this mindset, you no longer fear failure. You transform it into legacy. And that is a life worth building.